we have revival, a 3 days of this and that, right? So they can just do whatever, and then they say it's a program without a definite objective. But we don't do that because of the instruction, the vision God has given to us. So we are very conscious of what we do, and whatever we do, we have objective. There is a reason for doing what we are doing, and there is something that we are expecting to see and have. So, for example, we just had a program, right? And the program we said is Grace for Academic Excellence. Our aim, first of all, is to win souls for the Lord. Our aim is to bring grace to people so that they can be academically sound, to establish people. And then our aim is to raise our own people, you see, to be strong in the Lord and to be relevant in society. You see, so there's a reason why we held that program. Now, remember the first point. I said that our aim is to win souls. Now, whatever you do as a Christian should end in the salvation of souls. Let it be burning, let this particular thing burn in your heart. Now, if you see your life as a missionary, or you see your life in the hands of God, you find out that God is helping you. For example, some of you are teachers. When we're having this program, some of you lecturers took advantage of that and invited your student. That's how a Christian should behave. This is not a strange thing. This is actually God's plan for his people. The reason why he lifts you and places you at a point or at a level in a society is so that you become the light at that place. You influence people at a place. So you are saying you are in the university, level 100, level 200, level 400, or whichever level. You are working, just say at a bank. You are working at a mines. God in his mind has seen that he has a light at the place. Because you are there. You are the rep of God at the place. So when meetings like this are being held, you are supposed to take advantage of the situation and gather in souls so that their lives will be better. You listening? Yes, sir. That was what Esther didn't know when she became the queen. And the reason for God making her a queen was because God foresaw that the people will rise up against the Jews and want to kill them. Now, the time came for Esther to act. Esther was giving excuses. And said, I can't go into the presence of the king. The king, there are laws and all that. There are some people when it's time for them to act for God, they start giving a lot of excuses. They say, there are laws. We don't do that here. We don't do that there. How about the salvation of the souls? So Mordecai sent a message and said, Esther, because deliverance will come with or without you. So Esther got up. She realized that she was making a mistake. She got up, fasted for 3 days with her team, and then she went before the king. The king accepted everything. You see, so you are like a soldier in a garrison. God placed you at that place to guard up the place, to make sure that his kingdom influences that place. That is your calling. You see, but unfortunately, when God helps people, they forget who they are. And they forget the assignment that he has given to them. To them, they are in the world to help the earthly kingdom. But God tells us that we are from above, not from beneath. Are you listening? You are first a Christian before any other thing. You're first a Christian. You're first a missionary before any other thing. You are a businessman. You are first a Christian. You are a Christian businessman. You're first a Christian before any other thing. Do you realize that even Jesus Christ saw himself? One day his family was looking for him. He said, my family are those, my brothers and sisters are those who are listening to the gospel. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So when we hold meetings like this, and we win souls, we go for services, we go for outreaches, and we win souls, God expects that the souls we win must be or should be established. A soul is not a soul until he is established in the church and growing. So our activities in the church, everything must lead to the salvation of souls. But a soul is not a soul until he is established in the house of the Lord. Look at it. He says, you did not choose me. This is Jesus speaking. He said, you did not choose me, but I chose you. I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. Notice what he says. He says that the souls you win must remain. They should remain. Jesus said, of all the people you have given me, I have lost none of them. Our duty as Christians is to maintain the souls that we win for Jesus Christ. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
That's our assignment. Now, if you are growing in the Lord and the people that you win are not growing in the Lord, there's something wrong somewhere. Maybe the fire in your heart has gone down. Maybe you have not seen the need for these people to rise up to your level. So he says, let the souls you win, the fruits you make, let it remain. In other words, you will do everything possible for the people to be established in the house of God. We call it soul retention. The souls must be retained or should be retained. See, for example, in our church, we have a lot of first-timers. We must learn to close the back door so that people don't come and go. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Listen. The Lord is always adding to the church. Look, for example, look at Acts chapter 2, verse 46. The Lord is always adding to the church. God is bringing in people. There are some people who are here presently, like today, or who have joined us recently, who didn't even know that God wanted them to be here, but God actually brought them here. God brought them here for a reason, to bless them, to establish them, to lift them up in the faith. This is the place where God has ordained for them to grow. Like, for example, when the woman, the queen, not the woman, the woman of Zarephath, the widow of Zarephath, when the prophet Elijah went there, he said, God spoke to the prophet Elijah and said, go, I have commanded this woman to take care of you. But when he went, asking the woman to help, to bring in food, the woman was giving a lot of excuses because she didn't even know that God had commanded her. But God had commanded. So there are many people who come to our church. For sometimes they come through invitation. They come through seeing our Bible, hearing us on radio and all that, or like through these programs and all that. But God is the one who brought them here. He wants to help them. And we must do everything possible for them to be established in the house of the Lord. So God is adding, he said, so continuing daily with one accord in the temple and breaking bread from house to house, they ate their food with gladness and simplicity of heart. Next verse. He says, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to the church daily those who were being saved. You know, in our church, every Wednesday, every Sunday, we have New Testament, first timers. Every. Now, these festaments, even if you're able to maintain a quarter of the festaments for 4 weeks, assuming that every Sunday we have about 30 people visiting the church, and we're able to maintain a quarter of the 30, what would that be? No, a quarter of 30 is what? 7.5. So 7.5 souls. so assuming we have 8 as a quarter or 7 as a quarter. Now, meaning that every week, the least people that we can have established in the house of God will be 7 people. So 7 times 4 is how much? 28. So every month you have 28 people being established in the house of the Lord. Every month. That means that every month at least we can have about 30 people established in the house of God. That's God's plan. But the back door must be closed. The back door must be closed. There are things we must do to close the back door so that people don't exit. Because you see, when people come, even though God has influenced them to come, the devil is also present trying to influence them. And so we must do everything possible to establish people in the house of God, because that is the way to grow the church. How many of us genuinely want our church to grow? You see, everybody wants the church to grow. When we hold program and thousands of people come, you see that you'll be so happy. Everybody will be laughing and smiling. Including those who did nothing about it. You know, for example, and what did you do? So, I'll look at some few points as to how we can retain the souls that we win. How we can retain the souls that we win. Make sure your mind is here and you are writing something. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
In this church, when you come, you must have a notepad, whether it is your phone or your writing pad. God showed me a vision many years ago before we started church that when I'm teaching, people will be writing. So when you come here, you are not writing, you are making the vision not come to pass. What kind of person are you? You want to negate the vision God gave me. He showed me that people will be writing what I'm teaching. And you are here, you're just looking at me like that. Write something. Help me tell you about write something. When you listen to a wise man teach and you don't write anything, it means that there is nothing he is teaching. And if there is nothing he is teaching and you are listening for 2 hours, then to our leaders, to every church member, and every church member must know that on a Sunday or on a service day, it is God's work. Now imagine that in a church, everybody sitting here knows that everybody is alert. He's a soul winner. You see, when people are not soul winners, they come to church, they do anything anyhow. When they in their mind, they are soul winners. They know the implication or the cost or the value of a soul and the implication of one soul leaving the church. If you are not a soul, if you don't win souls, it doesn't touch your heart when people don't come to church. You say, oh, this boy, he said you will not come to church again. No. He says it lightly. Because he's not a soul winner. Nothing touches him. He's never gone to the street. He doesn't win, so he doesn't invite anybody. These are the people when they come to church, say, oh, people didn't come to church. Oh, they gladly say it. There's nothing burning in their hearts. So your conduct, people come to church, they look at your conduct. They look at the way you behave. You see, I realize that it is not a powerful sermon that retains people. I'm telling you. It's not really a powerful sermon. There are basic things that retain people. And that's what I'm teaching you. Number one, I said that let's create the right environment for people to be comfortable. And you see, one of the reasons why we teach on loyalty and love is because of this. Love and loyalty create a certain atmosphere of honor, a certain atmosphere of love and loyalty to keep people, so that when people are here, people come to church, they are not looking at their backs. You see, it is a very terrible thing to work with a disloyal person. You don't know what he's going to do next. Because, I mean, can you imagine you are working with somebody who is not very faithful? You are married to somebody who is not faithful. Your heart will be breaking all the time. Loyalty means faithfulness, someone that sticks to a cause. You're not looking at somebody, where are you? Where are you today? I couldn't come. Can you imagine a pastor, today, I'm coming to preach, on Sunday I'm coming to preach, and everybody thinks that I'm coming to preach, and on Sunday I'm not here. Oh, pastor, where are you? Oh, MIDWEEK bicycle. Can you imagine that? Mayor rounds. So, for people who are not so winners, they can, for example, on a Sunday, we say, we are all coming to church. They can just decide to stay home. They are Christians, though. I said, they are not soul winners. Nothing burns in their hearts. If they are really soul winners, on the Sunday, they'll be rushing to church, knowing that people will look at them and look at their commitment so that they can do the same. Because people copy the things we do. If you're a soul winner, you do things knowing that people are looking at you. So you create the right environment. Our music people will not come and sing songs that will disturb our minds. Before they come on a Sunday to come and sing, they should have prepared. Or they should prepare, right? Before they come, they should prepare. Their minds are already prepared. They prayed enough before they come. They dress up very well before they come. They don't wear anything revealing. You get the point? They don't wear anything revealing. They come and stand and they are preaching. All their cleavages are showing. Because that has a way of troubling people. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
You can't dress anyhow. Because you want to maintain souls. You want to keep the souls. You want to do everything possible for people to be comfortable in the house of God. It's that when I see some Christians who dress anyhow, show themselves anyhow, I look at them and I say, look, these people are not soul winners. If especially a lady doing that, dresses showing the cleavages, dress anyhow with the underwear showing, the beads showing, all those kind of stuff in the house of God, you are driving people away. Somebody has escaped hell and is coming to heaven. You want to create another hell for that person in heaven? You can't do that. Are you listening, brothers and sisters? Look at our technical people. They are straight. They are not talking whilst we are having service. Sometimes you find technical people, they're talking. I said, look at this. No, you can't just do that. You create a wrong impression on the hearts of people. You just can't do that. In most cases, that's why I said that there's always a certain gap. It's a gap in the mind. Most of the time, those who are in front, most of them pay more attention than those who are at the back. It's always like that. That's why it takes a certain effort, extra effort, to receive from the back. Most of the time, people who are at the back feel that, for example, you say, praise the Lord. Those who are in front will respond. Those who are at the back will not respond. They think that the responsibility is upon those in front. That's why they miss a lot. And most of the time, people who don't want to do much always want to stay backwards. say, for me, I like the back. God told you you are the head, not the tail. You want to be at the back. How are you going to grow? Look at all the people who are not very committed in the house of God. You know what I mean? They always want to stay backwards. That is not how it works. Listen, you got to understand force field. You understand force field? If you study a bit about force field, you know this magnetic thing. The closer the object is to the magnet, the stronger or whatever it is, it is attraction. Is that not so? Yes, the Spirit of God fills the whole fill the whole room, and all that. It's true. It's true. But understand that the anointing is also like a magnetic force. It's like light. The closer you are to light, the hotter it becomes. Even though it shines everywhere. So, think about it. And most of the time, for example, in a prophetic meeting, most of the time, those who get prophecies are those in front and not those at the back. It takes grace to pick up people from the back. So I want to say that, look, when you come to church, understand that you are a soul winner. Whatever you are doing, it affects people. The way you sit, the way you talk, the way you dress, it affects people. So you got to be smart. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Be smart. Thank God people cannot be talking. Protocol people cannot be talking. A protocol person or an usher should have an extra, should put in an extra effort. Because you are listening at the same time watching over people. Praise the Lord. Are you listening, brothers and sisters? That's how you get blessed yourself. That's how you influence other people. People come in the house of God and they are very much okay. Choir people are not in the choir, they are singing and they are fighting already. Do you realize sometimes people who are the choir people, one is angry, he's not even making his face, he's not smiling. They will be a hand. You know what I'm saying? I will not back you. Can you imagine this? Are you a soul winner at all? How do you think weirdly like this? For example, there are people who go for family meetings. Listen, the environment, the right environment, they go for family meetings. And they sit down, for a meeting. You'll find certain people not concentrating. First timers are there. They have the opportunity to influence them, to make them know that this one's supposed to be a serious matter. That's when they'll be what's happening. God will have mercy on you. Amen. I look at that, I said, God, where is this person from? Where's his hometown? Where's he from? Who raised him? No, it shouldn't be. Help me to know, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
You must be smarter than that. You are a Christian. You are born again. You are a soul winner. You must take advantage of everything. You are always alert, trying to find ways to win souls. So whilst the shepherd is teaching at the family meeting, you are here. You are here. You are committing yourself. You are saying, yes. You are shaking yourself. There are people even in the house of God when they are, the way they sit, when you are preaching to them, the anointing does not flow. The anointing does not flow. He said, I'm tired. If you are tired and you are eating your best meal, you don't sleep. So you pay attention, you create an environment, the right environment. Go to 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 1. He said, when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to test him with hard questions. Take notice. She heard of the fame of Solomon. People have heard of our church. They've listened to us on radio. Now they come to test to see if it is real. If the things that this man teaches, if it is real, if that is what the people live with, if that is what is really, or if that is what it is. They see wonderful pictures. They come, they want to see the environment and find out whether the thing is real or not. They came to test with hard questions to find out. So sometimes people come to church not because they want to come. They come to test the waters. They say, I want to come and see if this place is for me. The first time. Then when they come, the impression they get, the word they get, the love of the people. And when this thing touches their heart, they say, this is where I belong. If they find out the opposite, they say, let me go to the next place. You wonder what is happening. Somebody has done something, created a certain atmosphere or a certain thing that has influenced the person not to stay. You have prayed and prayed and prayed. The only time you have the opportunity now to prove yourself or to create and to welcome people, they come and then you mess up. It's like you have prayed. People will say, okay, you have prayed. They've called you, come for interview. Now talk well. He's dress well and go. He's you mess up all the opportunities. God gives opportunities. It is your responsibility to take those opportunities. So God brings in souls. We have the responsibility to maintain those souls by the way we conduct ourselves. The environment we create. Next verse 10, verse 1. No, verse 2, quickly. He said, she came to Jerusalem with a very great retinue, with camels that bore spices, very much gold and precious stone. And when she came to Solomon, she spoke with him about all that was in her heart. So Solomon answered all her questions. There was nothing so deep. It's like when you invite people to church, you're expecting that your man of God preaches. You see, this is why I spend much time in praying. More. Because you see, it's the Spirit of God who knows how to communicate. I said that the Spirit of God is the master communicator. I wouldn't want to come and preach without praying. Because I don't know who is coming. I don't know who will be listening to me. I can't convince people enough. But the Spirit can. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
The Spirit can. So she came. There was nothing that the king could not explain. She left convinced that the things I heard, I've seen much more. Thank you. He said, so Solomon answered all her questions. And there was nothing so difficult for the king that she could not answer. Look at verse 4. He said, and when the queen of Sheba has seen all the wisdom of Solomon, has seen, take notice, wisdom is seen. Because he said, by wisdom a house was built. Wisdom has products. So if we say we are wise, the way we dress up, are you listening? Yes, the way you dress up? You don't just wear anything to the house of the Lord. Dress up well. Dress up well. Put some perfume on yourself. Because you don't know who is going to stay close to you. You've been walking, you have been sweating. Get perfume in your bag. Get deodorant in your bag. Because Ghana is hot and you see, and you are walking out, you'll be sweating. It's normal. But get it for you because you are a soul winner. You don't want to create a bad environment for another person. You know yourself, you sweat a lot. You are a soul winner. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yes, say this, I'm a soul winner. I'm a soul winner. So you dress up. Wisdom can be seen. When she saw the wisdom of Solomon, the house he has built, the environment that he had created. Next verse. He said the food on his table. Can you imagine the food on the dining table? The sitting of his servants. The sitting of the servant. That's why in our house, in our church, you can't sit where you want to sit. We tell you where to sit. Is that for me? I want to sit there. I want to sit there. I want to sit there. You can't do that. Are you listening? Yes, sir. You just can't do that. Because you are a soul winner. Listen, hey, I want to talk to, and I'll talk about, and I'll repeat it on Sunday. I want to talk to some of our ladies when service is going on, just moving about and all those stuff. You have to stop. Especially some of our mothers. You have to stop. You have to stop. You have to stop. And if you're a husband, help your wife to stop. I'll talk about some of that on Sunday to draw the attention of people before I preach. Remind me. Look at that. The waiters, the apparel, their dress code.